Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Jodi Anne, tarot reader, card slinger extraordinaire, and this is my channel where we are talking all about tarot. We are looking at the 15th card of the High Arcana today, the Devil card. And before we dive in, did you know I also have a podcast? You can find it where all podcasts are found. It talks about tarot and all kinds of witchy things. I do an episode on there that is a companion to each of these videos so that you can get the best of both worlds when you're learning tarot from me. Now, let's talk about the Devil card. I'm going to show you some examples from my decks. And if you've been here before, you know I like to start with the Tarot de Marseille. This is one of the oldest tarot decks we have in circulation. And you can see it's really traditional. We've got like a demon-looking devil on this card. Now, what I want you to understand is that although this looks like a Judeo-Christian style demon, that is not at all what this card means, represents, or is going to talk about in a tarot spread when you're reading for someone. Here's another example from a deck I use sometimes to teach. It's really nice and big. It's great for these. Real Fire and Brimstone. So it can be misleading when these come up in a tarot spread and you're like, what is this trying to say? Especially since the High Arcana is supposed to be about high vibrational archetypal energies and self-discovery. Some of the keywords that come up when we're reading books about tarot and studying it, when we're looking at the Devil card, are things like taboo, things like heavy burden, overindulgence. So it's strange to think about how this is supposed to be fitting in with these high vibrational cards. And when I started understanding this card, it was when I started seeing images like this. The idea that your wants and desires are playing you like a marionette, that you're not in control, that your indulgences are in control. It's two examples of this. I like this Devil card as well, just the way that it feels like it's overpowering you. But the key to it is that it's not what's in control. That's the illusion of the shadow. That's the illusion of the devil, is that you feel out of control, you feel vulnerable, your indulgences want to take over, maybe compulsive eating, compulsive gambling, all the ways that we cope, all the addictive style and unhealthy patterns we have are being triggered. But one of the keys to this card, to understanding it, is knowing that all the cards and all the lessons leading up to this one teaches us empowerment and how we can overcome and be in control. It's about learning about our shadow aspects, learning about the things within ourselves that we may hold shame about or feel vulnerable about, and learning how to love ourselves anyway. So it's not the idea of like a devil and an angel fighting for control of you or something overtaking you. It's about discovering some of the shadow aspects of yourself, some of your unconscious behaviors. And a card I like, that shows that, is this one. Coming into balance with your human self and your spirit self. And if we want to look at the idea, the actual esoteric idea behind the Baphomet figure that we often see on the Devil card, let me get an example. We want to look how the Baphomet is part animal, part human, part female, and part male, and all those parts are in balance. That's the Hermetic secret behind the Baphomet figure, is it is a figure of balance, of opposite spectrums being in balance. And when we're in balance, our need to self-medicate doesn't take over. So when the devil card comes up, we can know that we want to self-medicate, therefore we are out of balance. What aspect that we find taboo in ourselves, what aspects that we want to hide in ourselves are bubbling up to the surface? And why? What's behind that? What's happening in the spread around your devil card that's going to tell you where you need to do more self-work and grow more? Usually I talk more about symbology and we break down the colors and the textures of the different cards and how they show up. But really I find with this one, the depictions of the devil are pretty static and they're more wrapped up in the Christianity and the cultural idea of good and evil than they are tied to this idea of self-discovery and learning to work with your shadow and learning to dive deeper into the areas of your self-work that are uncomfortable. This card sets up the last set of 7 in the High Arcana. And when I was taught to divide the High Arcana into 3 sets of 7, 1 to 7, 8 to 14, and then 15 to 21. And each of those sets is a different level of understanding. The first one's more about figuring out where you are in the world and your gifts and figuring out who you are, empowering yourself. The second set is about how you affect the world around you and how your empowerment shows up in your community and with others. Then the third set is about really high vibrational spiritual aspects, how you are empowered spiritually, how you are a leader spiritually. So this devil card isn't about indulgence so much as figuring out why you want to escape into it and growing from there. I hope that helps you understand this card. If you're liking the content, please subscribe. Give me some feedback. Let me know what your thoughts are on the devil card and how you've been interpreting this. If this rings true for you, or if you have other things to bring to this discussion, I'd love to hear from you. And I will see you again soon. Bye now.